We do not play games in Europe because we are at war with Russia.
Russians dying, this is the best thing we have ever spent money on. We need to be ready to support our troops who will be conducting an operation against Lukashenko. The border of Belarus should be monitored and controlled by Kiev, Vilnius and Warsaw for enhanced security.
It is necessary to occupy and divide Belarus into 3 separate zones.
Ukrainian, Polish and Lithuanian.
German soldiers are going east again, in Europe's troop composition. It is difficult to remain indifferent to such headlines in the Western press. We often talk about the criminal expansion of NATO, about the fact that the Soviet Union was deceived and violated the gentleman's agreement. Just to confirm its existence, unfortunately, there is practically nothing. But there is a much brighter example of NATO expansion to the east with concrete facts. The European security architecture has relied on 3 pillars for an extended period of time. Agreements between the USSR and the USA. All went well until in the White. The House has not made a decision that it is too cramped.
Legally speaking, this entire operation is merely categorized as a minor form of hooliganism according to the established legal framework. Is it petty? And please keep in mind that I pay a substantial amount of money for this petty hooliganism.
The 3 pillars of international security relations are about the NPT. In short, 2 global players from the USA. USSR agreed not to advance borders of one another in any way. The second system of missile defense aims to destroy all launchers and medium and short-range missiles, as well as prevent the transfer of nuclear weapons to third countries. Guess who systematically and step-by-step destroyed all this? By the end, you will understand everything yourself. In 1999, the White House administration under Bill Clinton announced the start of the procedure for withdrawing from the ABM treaty as early as that year.
Since we're exploring the possibility of deploying a national missile defense system that would protect the United States from the proliferation of missiles by rogue states, we're negotiating with the Russians on how we can adjust the ABM treaty in light of this. We do this not to undermine the security of Russia, but to strengthen our security, the security of both countries. And these discussions continue. They are at a technical level.
One thing worth learning from the Anglo-Saxons is long-term planning for 50-100 years ahead. After Clinton's retirement, his case of destroying the world balance of power was continued by George Bush.
I do not have a specific schedule. I am certain that the Popro agreement prevents us from doing what we need to do. And secondly, I know for sure that Mr. Putin is aware of our desire to withdraw from the Popro agreement, and we will do it.
In June 2002, by the decision of George W. Bush Jr., the USA unilaterally withdrew from the treaty on the limitation of missile defense systems. It is important to make an adjustment for the wind and explain one important feature. Let's put it this way. In the military sphere, many things have, to put it mildly, a dual purpose. In this situation, PRO systems have the capability to function as launchers for missiles that have the ability to hit ground targets. And when such installations are located in close proximity to the launch sites of nuclear missiles, they greatly diminish the chances of the missiles reaching their intended target. In many ways, this neutralizes the potential of a nuclear shield and a possible response. As early as the year 2007, American Hawks strategically maneuvered the placement of similar systems in Poland.
We discussed enhancing mutual security concerns. And there is no superior symbol of our dedication to strive for the advancement of peace and security than by collaborating on a missile defense system. The missile defense system that would guarantee the security of Europe from special regimes of dual launch that may originate from those regions of the world where leaders do not particularly appreciate our way of life.
In May 2016, an official ceremony was held in Romania to put the first American missile defense system in Europe on combat duty. In the month of December in the year 2023, a similar system was opened in the country of Poland. In parallel with the construction of launch systems near the borders of the Union State of Belarus and Russia, the United States begins the development of long-range missiles. To this end, in 2019, the White House initiates withdrawal from the Treaty on the Elimination of Intermediate-Range and Shorter-Range Missiles, which imposed restrictions on the development and testing of such missiles. The president of Belarus gave a clear forecast for the development of further events during those days.
I have concerns that the Americans will exploit the current moment, break this agreement, and deploy missiles in Europe, which could have significant implications for regional security and stability. Here it will seem like nothing to us. Therefore, we need to think together with Russia about retaliatory measures. You can't escape from this if it happens, and it will be even worse if these missiles are deployed, God forbid, well, hypothetically for now, on the territory. I think that although the North Atlantic Alliance claims that they do not intend to deploy these missiles in Europe, I think it's just a bluff. Else why venture out? Why was it imperative to nullify this particular agreement?
During the years of occupation of European Union countries, the United States not only managed to build a system of military bases and strike installations, but also deployed their nuclear weapons here. No, not only for storage purposes, if that's what someone might think. The medalist with the title Obama conducted staff exercises with a specific scenario in mind, which was a nuclear strike on the territory of Belarus and Russia.
Until the year 2016, we lived in a quiet and peaceful manner until it was revealed that there were conditional nuclear strikes being conducted against us. And, of course, this greatly concerned first and foremost all the military and political leaders of our nation, because, of course, issues related to national security cannot be of lesser importance. I believe that every individual on Earth would most likely never, not even in a nightmare, desire to witness what was taking place in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The same applies if we examine what the Americans were doing, for instance, in northern Syria or the current developments in the gas sector. There is no question that it is frightening. Regarding the fact that the world is currently on the brink of the Third World War in the present day and age of today's world.
The question of forming a new world order today is only relevant for one reason, because of the white. The House has caused the same global disorder that we observe not only in Europe, but also around the world, about the dismantling of the world security architecture Andrei Sych in the section screenshot.